My husband left suddenly, and I can't bring myself to hate him. Well, that's okay. I'll hate him for you. This story is hot off the press. We are in real time. It came July 20th, 2026. This past Tuesday, my husband decided to leave me. We've been together for almost 4 years, married for 9 months. When I met him at work, we immediately clicked. After a few days of work together, he told me that he was living in an unhealthy situation in order to receive free housing. I invited him to come stay with my mother and I so that he was safe. This arrangement lasted for about a year until he came to me and said that he didn't think our relationship could continue if we kept living with my mom. Despite her being my only family, I chose him and we moved in together. In the new apartment, I had asked for him to help with rent, just to be fair. There were a few months where he would help, but a good amount where he couldn't. I looked past it because I was very much enamored with him. We moved twice again with my mom and a new roommate. My health started to decline drastically, causing me to have to be cautious about where I could work. He started cooking for me as he knew that it would hurt me to do things as simple as standing up. Yet again, he struggled to pay rent. It was taking a toll on me since I couldn't work. I asked for him to find a part-time job to do when we weren't booked for any acting jobs. He didn't want to work at a place that he didn't enjoy. I was thankful for him taking care of me, so I didn't want to push it. In our new and current apartment, I was diagnosed with a slow-growing benign tumor in the pineal gland of the brain. That sounds very serious. Although benign tumor, it's benign, which is a good thing. Not a good thing, but a better thing. Due to my constant headaches, I was incapable of doing a lot of things. Oh, yeah, that would probably cause the worst migraines ever. My husband took on a lot of responsibility in taking care of me, and I always thanked him. But my savings were dwindling bad. I told him that I needed him to get a job and that I would try to find a low stimulation job for myself that I could handle. I was getting rejected for every application that I was sending. He continued to be picky about where he worked and settled on a valet job that would have him work 10 hours a week. When we got back from our honeymoon, we found out that our government assistance, EDD food stamps, had been cut off. He said that he didn't want to rely on government assistance anymore. I had to tell him that we had to be really picky with our finances, and he told me that my take on finances depressed him because his belief was that, quote, money comes and goes in waves, and if you're scared to spend it, you're going to lose it. Well, I think that's easy to say when it's someone else's money that you're using and that's dwindling away. This was the first time I'd ever seen his behavior towards me change. He became more withdrawn and we started having more tension. He soon started making hurtful comments. I told him that those things hurt deeply. He apologized and I forgave him and we would move on. After that, things did seem to improve. He continued to help take care of me and occasionally contributed to rent. At times, he seemed withdrawn and spent a lot of time by himself, but whenever I asked if something was wrong, he reassured me that everything was okay. About 2 weeks before he left, I told him I felt some distance between us, and I asked if he was still happy in our relationship. He told me that he was. In the days leading up to the breakup, he continued saying that he loved me, initiated intimacy, cuddling with me, and making plans for our move. Tuesday morning, I noticed that he wasn't in bed when I woke up at 7 a.m. I came out to see if he was okay, and he hung up the phone when I entered the room. He told me to go back to bed. When I woke up again later, I tried to make him breakfast. He said he didn't want it and then went outside for a while. I got worried and I went to find him pacing outside while on the phone. When I approached him, he started giving the person on the phone one-word answers. He even held my hand as we walked back to our apartment. I asked him if he was leaving. He couldn't even look me in the eyes when he said yes. I begged for him to stay. I told him that I would do anything. He said that I have too much baggage and trauma related to my mom and that I rely on my disability to get me out of things. He said that we were incompatible and that I was never ready for a relationship. He said that I don't show him enough gratitude and that he had to do what's best for him. Of all the issues that he mentioned, only 2 of them were ever discussed with me, and he never told me that they were something that he considered leaving this relationship over. He never mentioned that they were too much for him to handle. He just told me that everything was fine. Yesterday, I found out that his friends had been telling him to leave me for months, but he never brought it up or acted like anything was wrong. My friends, family, and even his father had been telling me the same thing, but I told them I couldn't because I love him so much. I'm heartbroken and I'm struggling to make sense of this. I keep replaying everything in my head because just days before he left, he was telling me he loved me, planning our move, and acting like everything was okay. Has anyone ever experienced something similar? How did you process it and begin healing when the breakups seemed to come out of nowhere? We have our first update, but it says that this update is from the husband. I don't know if this has ever happened before. No, they've been in the comment section sometimes, but let's see what husband has to say. Posting under an anonymous account so that I can't be found. Yes, I know she already posted here. I would like to share my side. Please do. Last week, I left my wife, married less than a year, due to financial hardship and feeling like I wasn't good enough for her. We had been together for 4 years, and within the first 2 years, things were great. My mother-in-law started to get on me about my responsibilities, and it made me feel suffocated. I told my wife, at the time girlfriend, and she agreed to move out with me. I will be honest, she footed a lot of the bills. She received an inheritance from her grandma and agreed to help me pay at first. When we moved into our own place, I helped with bills as much as I could, but work fluctuated a lot. She seemed to understand. We were deeply in love and very happy. We did everything together. After a year, we had to move back in with her mom because we couldn't afford to live on our own. Okay, but let's not forget that you just didn't want to get a job that you didn't like, is what she said. I understand. Acting jobs, they fluctuate all the time. That is why most artists have to get other jobs. You have to work. You have to have other means of income coming in because it could be a year in between bookings sometimes. I agreed to do it because I understood that she was struggling financially, so I tried to put my feelings about her mom aside. We remained happy. About a year later, my wife, then girlfriend, started to get sick easily. She had frequent headaches and was diagnosed with autism. I took her to the doctor often, but they would just tell her to eat healthier and hydrate. I helped cook and clean for her. Sometimes she would almost pass out just standing up from the pain. Our mutual friend moved in around this time too, and he helped take care of her, which really helped me. We talked and decided that we were basically already married, and so we tied the knot. I guess this is where my feelings started to change. It felt weird being married and living with other people. I tried to explain to her that we had a future as adults and needed to move on from our mutual friend and her mom, but she kept bringing up that we couldn't afford to live on our own. My friends were trying to help me find an affordable pool house or something of the sort that we could live in, but she told me that $2,000 was too much for her to take on her own. This was hurtful to me as I was trying my best to help cover my side of the finances. We moved away from our friend, but kept her mom with us because we were all still struggling financially. Her health was getting worse and worse, and she was diagnosed with a brain tumor. I stayed by her side and got a part-time job to try to help with rent because she couldn't work, but my boss was only willing to give me a certain amount of hours per week. Right, he did get that. What was the job? I forgot what the job was, but 10 hours a week. And settled on a valet job that would have him work 10 hours a week. I tried to apply to any job that I could that would suit my abilities, but nobody would reach out, or if they did, it was a scam. Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that you are actually applying for jobs because on her end, it sounded like you weren't applying for any job. I started to feel like I was in an endless cycle of having to take care of her and find a job. I had to drive her places and help with her chores. I knew deep down that she couldn't help it, but the pressure was getting to be too much on me. Her mom wasn't helping at all because she is also disabled, and that frustrated frustrated me because she was capable of driving her places, but she refused to and used the excuse that her hip was hurting. She got surgery on it last year and it didn't heal right. I asked my friends that I've known for 8 years and have always been there for me what to do. They told me that she was taking advantage of her illnesses and taking my willingness to help her for granted. They said that the relationship wasn't healthy for me and that I should leave. My friend offered me his living room for the time being, and I took time to think about it. My friends discussed with me that the reason she was so willing to let me take care of her was because of her past trauma, and that she didn't have her parents to take care of her while she was growing up, and that is also why she didn't know how to thank me for it. She did say thank you every time, but sometimes forgot to say please or would expect me to do small things for her, like filling up her water bottle because her head was hurting. I didn't know how to talk to her about this without hurting her feelings, as she is autistic and very sensitive. All of this took a toll on me, and I felt like I couldn't be my own person because I was so busy taking care of her or looking for a job. There was also stress of having her mom there constantly belittling me, telling me what to do, and taking advantage of the fact that I would come to her for advice. I feel like she would guilt trip me into taking her places so that she would have something to hold over me. I didn't know how to leave without hurting her, so I called my friends that morning. She saw me outside and started crying and asked if I was leaving, and I told her yes. She begged for me to stay and even said that her mom would leave, but she didn't know the pressure I was under and I couldn't handle it anymore. Her mom threatened me and said that I better be gone by the time she gets back. Her best friend also threatened me. None of my friends have ever done that to her. She texted me yesterday asking for clarity, and I told her that now our marriage is over and I would like to be civil and friendly and that we need to grow as individuals. She sent back a really long message saying that it wasn't fair for her to have to do it because I, quote, didn't acknowledge my own role in what happened, not just hers. She ended the message by attacking my best friend, saying that I should heal on my own and not with someone who, in her words, has taken advantage of me. She also won't stop texting me, asking for me to get my things, but I have nowhere to put them as I'm trying to find a new home and I'm selling my car. She also has been texting my friend, asking about my cat and saying that it's unsafe for him to be left with my friend who is disabled because he can't take care of him properly. I'm trying to be civil and kind while also giving her answers, but I'm hurting too. What do I say to her? What am I supposed to do? Wow. I don't know if we've ever gotten the full story from the two people in the original post. This is pretty crazy. We're gonna go to the Reddit comment section and see what people are saying on husband's post. Someone said, sounds to me like you were the one using your wife. She had money that she inherited and you didn't have a full-time job, so she was covering your bills. Now that she's out of money, you want to leave. I mean, the timing of all that is a little suspicious. Next comment, you are about to learn a hard lesson. You were way more reliant on your wife, more than you know. Make a post when the friends stop letting you crash at their place and you realize you have nothing stable financially in your life. Pretty please? OP responded to that. The wife, though, she chimed in on this comment and said, oh God, this is gonna get messy. She said, just because you changed the password doesn't mean that I don't remember the username to this account. She found you. You never communicated anything about my behavior being too much for you. The only thing you did was tell me that I needed to Uber or public transit to get to and from wherever I needed to go because you could not drive me everywhere. I told you that, finances permitting, I was willing to take Ubers to work. I texted your friends about Cosmo, assuming that's the cat, because you have been shuffling him around from friend to friend and took him out of the environment that he was used to out of spite and supposed fear of my mom not giving him back to you, which I would never allow to happen despite the fact that you stole her phone and traded it in to get yourself a new one. You literally have my number. You could have texted me all of this. It's getting messy.
That sounds messy.
Husband and wife are fighting in the Reddit comment section. That's when you know. That's when you know things are bad. The next update came 3 days later, and it is from the wife. My ex-husband finally came to get his stuff today, and I was able to try to get him to talk about the reasons why he left. A main reason is because I chose to stay friends with my friend who was honest about having no respect for him due to his behavior for me and his ongoing issues of expecting things from others. He said that he didn't see us being able to be together as none of my support system liked him, and two of them had threatened him for abandoning me when things got hard. He also continued to say that I have trauma from my mom, but wouldn't give examples of how. He told me that I should learn to live on my own and rent a room to learn how to take care of myself without my mother's help, and that I believe her too much when she tells me that I'm too fragile for specific things because of my autism, he claims. There was one point where he said that it filled him with rage to see that my friend, who didn't respect him, was still being my support system, to which I responded that without that support system, I probably would have hurt myself when he left. I told him that I wasn't saying that to guilt trip him or make him feel bad, and he simply said, I don't feel bad. I feel like my heart has been ripped out. Basically, he said that he felt that he wasn't capable of giving me the care that I needed, and that this was a mutual split, and that he hopes I can learn from this and heal. Above all, I still feel a pain in my heart that I can't get rid of. How do I get myself to stop romanticizing the best parts of him and wishing that he would come back? That's a very normal part of a breakup, especially when it's fresh. You're just holding on to all the good memories, all the good times. It's a very natural thing to do. We are going back to the Reddit comments. Somebody said, I read your previous post. You seem to have very little self-confidence. Letting a grown man live off you for free for years. He said money comes and goes. That's easy for him to say since it was your money. He never contributed. I honestly don't think he ever really loved you. He just loved that he could use you and you willingly let him. His excuses for leaving are BS. He just got tired of having to put an effort to take care of you. So he probably sold someone else on a sob story and told them his home situation wasn't healthy. So he found someone else to leech off of. How do you stop romanticizing him? Listen to your good friends. They saw him for what he was. I know you are financially struggling right now, but I hope there is a way for you to get into therapy. Figure out why you let this man walk all over you and use you for years, because that was not a healthy relationship and he was not a good man. She wrote back to this and said, I thought he loved me. We connected so easily the first time that we met. He was my entire world. The beginning stages, am I right? It's all bliss and rainbows and sunshine and daisies in the beginning. Oh, maybe not always. Next comment. You liked the fantasy of him and the fantasy of the relationship. You didn't actually like who he was, because the reality of who he is was a person basically extorting you for cash and treating you badly, using Darvo every second. Start feeling angry. Start feeling love for yourself. Snap out of it and find therapy to learn what a healthy relationship looks like. Next comment. No person should ever be your entire world. That's not healthy. She wrote back and said, please keep in mind that I was diagnosed with a severe health condition that I don't have any information on, and I have lost a significant amount of important people in my life prior to meeting this person. While I recognize that my attachment to him was unhealthy, he was my only constant throughout all of these terrible things that kept happening to me. It's like a trauma bond, you know? Next comment. Can you do your own research or ask your doctor to learn more about your health condition? Sorry to hear about all of your loss. It's never too late to heal emotionally. Put yourself at the center of your world and put in the work to love yourself more. Speaking from experience, my whole life changed as soon as I started doing wifey stuff for myself. She wrote back and said, unfortunately, my doctor hadn't even told me to begin with. I found out through my radiology reports on the patient portal. Thanks, doc. That's crazy. She has been in no rush to do anything regarding getting more information or even helping solve the symptoms relating to the tumor. Time to switch doctors, time to look elsewhere, time to see a specialist, time to even getting on wait lists for a new doctor at this point. Better than waiting around for absolutely nothing. We do have a final update that came from guess who? The husband. But first, what's that? It's Hydration Station. All aboard. Drink your water today. You need it. Cheers. Hi friends, I just wanted to say a very quick thank you for everyone who ordered merch and all the loves. I see your comments about the merch You guys seem to be liking it as much as I did. And I just want to say thank you because this collection has been so fun to make, to take all your feedback about what you guys wanted and to see that you enjoyed the designs we came up with. It means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you. We are at the final update. It came 2 days after that. We are now at July 25th. 2026, and this one came in from the husband. I picked up my things from my ex today. She came out with her friend who verbally attacked me before, and it made me realize that one of the main reasons that I left is because she chose her support system, who did not respect me, over me. I told her that I did not have time to talk, but she cornered me. She asked if there was any way to fix the relationship, and I told her that I did not want to lead her on and that we both need to grow individually, but I do see us better off as friends. I brought up that seeing her friend who attacked me being there, helping her, made me realize how hurt I was, and she asked if that is why I left. I told her yes, the reason that I left is because she remained friends with someone who did not make me feel safe in my own home. She also continued to stay with her mom, who never wanted us to work out and would say anything negative about me. Even her best friend hated me and threatened me when I left. She told me that if she did not have her support system, she would have hurt herself the day I left. And then she said that she wasn't trying to guilt trip me or make me feel bad, and I said I don't feel bad. I told her that I want to remain friendly and amicable if we see each other on set, and then I told her that I had to go home. A half hour later, she texted me saying, I wanted to let you know that when I shared how important my support system was to my survival and your response was, I don't feel bad, it was incredibly painful to hear. I just wanted you to understand the impact those words had on me. I've never felt less cared about than the moment that you said that to me. Thank you for letting me know where I really stood throughout our entire relationship, to the point where you can easily show so much disrespect and carelessness for someone who wanted nothing but the best for you within their entire time with you. I texted her back and I told her that I meant I don't feel bad, as in we all need support people, but her support network constantly disrespects me and I do not have respect for that. Apparently, that did not land well. She attacked my best friend, bringing up the time that he called her a narcissist before meeting her, and that he, quote, says disrespectful things while pretending to care about me, and how she still respected him because of how much I cared about him. She brought up how I would talk to my friends, and some of hers too, about our relationship, but because her support system was hurt by my actions, I expected her to leave them. She chose me over the friend that attacked me, and I told her that I didn't care if she was still friends with him, and she said that I made her feel like an a-hole having to text him that it was okay for them to be friends again after ditching him for me. Honestly, now it just seems like there's so many other problems coming up from this relationship. I don't even know what the one reason is at this point. There's so many red flags. Then she projected onto me and asked what would happen if she left her mom too for me, and I abandoned her then too because it was still so much work for me. She ended the text saying that she's the only one being made to take accountability for everything, and asked why it was necessary for her to isolate herself from her support system just to be good enough for me to stay. Once again, she's projecting. I read the messages, but I did not answer. My friend and sister told me to block her number and move on because she's a narcissist who can't accept the blame and wants to put it all on me. My sister had to block her because she kept messaging her, accusing me of needing therapy and help, and that my lack of empathy is concerning. She's also posting on her social media saying that I said I don't feel bad about her almost hurting herself. What can I respond with to make her take accountability? Oh gosh, I don't even know if we should just keep going back and forth. We're going back to the Reddit comment section because the husband is replying to people. Somebody said, apparently sickness and health meant nothing to you. I've read both stories. I've met a lot of low-life men in my lifetime, but I think you take the cake. Oh boy. The husband wrote back and said, it was not about her health. It was about her choosing her support system that constantly disrespected over me, while I would never have done that to her if any of my friends acted the same way. But the first post you said was all about her health and that you had to take care of her, you had to drive her everywhere, the finances. Now it's on to something about a support system? I don't know. Next comment. You don't know the meaning of the word accountability. God, you are insufferable. You abandoned your wife for having a brain tumor. You are unhinged if you think that that makes you a victim. You are literally the worst. Reptiles that eat their young have more moral fiber than this. By the way, your post made it to AITD. Congrats. Am I the D? Ooh. He responded to that. He said, I am a victim, not because of her tumor, but because she, my wife, stayed friends with a person who called me a terrible friend and a crappy person and did not make me feel safe in my own home. If any of my friends did that to her, I would abandon them. Yeah, I'm not really believing that it's about this whole friend thing, because the first post was about everything else, the jobs, the finance, the health concerns, everything. This gave me a headache. I think we need to separate. I truly think it's a blessing in disguise in the long run. Go your own way, wish each other the best, and that's it. Let me know where you guys stand on this entire thing. I'm very curious. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.